You're told many times what would become of those who fight against the Islamic State.
Our international partners, the FBI in this case, made us aware of a martyrdom video.
Canada's National Police Force says it stopped a suicide bombing by killing the man who was plotting to carry it out.
The target was Canada, and the planned attack imminent.
Mr. Driver, we do know, was in communication through the internet, in encrypted messaging.
You couldn't break it?
Couldn't read it, couldn't break it.
You're the RCMP?
Correct.
Unbreakable?
Unbreakable.
It is a jihadi terrorist who endanger our security, who would take away our freedom.
This legislation will make it a crime to advocate or promote terrorist attacks on Canadians.
The idea is that when you use the word terrorism in a charging document, suddenly protections of rights start being violated.
We do not buy the argument that every time you protect Canadians, you somehow take away their liberties.
You can justify anything on the basis of terrorism. But even in recent Canadian cases, for example, the case of Aaron Driver, which Harper's party tried to use to say, oh, this is such a wonderful example of why we shouldn't get rid of C-51. It's important to recognize the actual threat in absolute terms and objective terms that these kind of individuals represent to society. This is an individual that had been on the radar for about a year prior to the time they were taken down, I believe. They were under all kinds of surveillance. They had been arrested. The police knew everything about this person's activities. This person was intercepted. They were thwarted prior to actually actioning their plot. And this was not, in any way that we could tell, actually related to the authorities and capabilities that were put forth in Bill C-51.
It was good police work that caught him before he could detonate it in public if that was his intent.
What have you since learned about Aaron Driver's explosive device?
He would have killed people if it had gone off close enough to those people.
And he was within a whisker of doing that. Why is this relevant to the going dark discussion?
The fact that he was out and available to do that is probably because we could not break the encrypted communications. And that's going dark. We couldn't get the evidence to charge him.
You got him in the end, though.
Luckily, perhaps.
The difference you're saying is that had you been able to access the information you were seeking,
it might have contained the information sufficient for us to charge him.
Individual criminals are engaging in crimes of violence in every other context every single day. We do want to mitigate these things. We do want to empower our law enforcement to counter these threats as best we can. But we do not want to sacrifice everything that makes our societies great. We do not want to reorder the boundaries of our rights for the convenience of law enforcement officials if it is not truly necessary, if it means that we lose everything that we're trying to defend.